The moment Joy pulled his hand away, he knew something was wrong, but not in the way people usually understand wrong. It wasn't pain, it wasn't fear, it was something far more disturbing, a sudden awareness, as if his mind had expanded without permission, as if something had quietly entered his thoughts and was now sitting there, watching. At first, nothing around him changed. The library looked the same. The silence remained. The shelves stood still. But inside Joy, everything felt different. His breathing slowed unnaturally, not because he was calm, but because his body was trying to understand something it had never experienced before. His eyes moved across the room, but now he wasn't just seeing things, he was noticing them. Every crack in the wall, every layer of dust, every tiny sound that didn't belong. It was too much detail, too much clarity. And then it started. A thought. Not his. Turn around. Joy froze. The voice wasn't loud. It wasn't even a voice in the traditional sense. It didn't come from outside, and it didn't feel like it came from inside either. It was something in between, something that didn't need sound to exist. Slowly, almost against his will, Joy turned around. Nothing. But the feeling didn't go away. Instead, it grew stronger. Look closer. His heartbeat began to rise again, but this time it wasn't panic, it was anticipation, a strange, unnatural curiosity that didn't feel like his own. Joy stepped forward, his eyes scanning the same shelves he had already seen before, and that's when he noticed it. The books. They weren't the same anymore. At first, everything looked normal, but when he focused, truly focused, the letters began to shift, words changed meaning, pages that were blank moments ago now held text, and not just any text. Information, specific, detailed, personal. Joy grabbed one book from the shelf, his fingers moving faster than his thoughts. He opened it. The first page made his breath stop. It wasn't a story. It was him. His name, his past, moments from his life written in perfect detail, things no one else could know, thoughts he had never spoken, secrets he had buried even from himself, every mistake, every regret, every hidden fear. "What is this?" he whispered. But the book didn't stop. The pages turned on their own, faster and faster, until they reached something he had never seen before. The future. Joy's hands started shaking. The words on the page described moments that hadn't happened yet, conversations he hadn't had, decisions he hadn't made. And at first it felt impossible, until it didn't. Because deep inside, it felt true. And that was the most terrifying part. "This isn't real," he said, his voice barely holding together. But the moment he tried to close the book, it resisted. Not physically, mentally. A sudden pressure filled his head, like something was pushing back against him. "Don't stop." That same presence, stronger now, closer. "You wanted answers." Joy dropped the book. It hit the ground with a loud thud, echoing unnaturally through the library. For a second, everything went silent again. Then, laughter. Not loud, not clear, but there. A faint, distorted sound that didn't belong to any human voice. Joy stepped back, his body finally reacting with real fear. "What is this place?" his mind screamed. But deep down, he already knew. This wasn't a library. This was something else. A place where knowledge wasn't stored. It was alive. And now, it had noticed him. The air grew heavier. The shadows around him seemed to stretch, moving slightly even though nothing physically changed. Joy turned quickly, trying to find the exit. But the hallway was different. Longer, darker, impossible. "I just came from here," he whispered, his voice breaking slightly. But the path didn't look the same anymore. The true, deeper truth began to settle inside him. He wasn't lost in the building had changed around him. Knowledge is not free. This time, it felt closer than ever. Every answer has a cost. Joy's breathing became unstable now, fast, uneven. Real fear had finally taken control. "I don't want this," he said, almost begging. But the moment those words left his mouth, everything stopped. Silence, complete, heavy. Then one final thought entered his mind. Cold, clear, unavoidable. It's not about what you want anymore. And suddenly, Joy understood. The book wasn't just showing him information, it was connecting him to it. Every truth he saw became part of him. Every answer he gained pulled him deeper. This wasn't knowledge, this was consumption. The more he learned, the less of him remained. His memories began to blur slightly, not disappear, but overlap, as if new information was replacing old understanding. His thoughts weren't fully his own anymore, they were shared. And that's when the real horror began, because Joy realized something no one had ever told him. The reason some knowledge is hidden is not because it's dangerous to know, it's because once you know it, it knows you back. And it never lets go. Joy fell to his knees, his head spinning with thoughts that didn't belong to a human mind. He tried to focus, tried to hold on to something real, his name, his past, anything. But it was slipping, piece by piece, thought by thought. He wasn't just learning anymore. He was becoming part of something else, something infinite, something that had been waiting for someone curious enough to open the door. And now, it had him.